Such a bummer. Yeah.
Oh, live stream. Okay, got it.
I guess it's working.
Thank you for telling
Okay.
us. I guess
don't
it's
know.
working.
It doesn't normally go straight to live stream, so if it does, I apologize because
that's okay.
It
It's
says
probably
we're live
on
on
now.
Facebook.
I think we're on now. Hi.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm gonna disconnect us.
Well, do you really wanna? Because you may not be able to get in.
Okay, let's just do it. We're on. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, hello everyone.
I don't think you should disconnect it because
Welcome. This is Betsy Freeman Booking. We are a weekly show. For those of you who don't know, we talk about acting, we talk about theater, we talk about all medias of performance. And thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about improv. As you can tell, we sort of opened a little abruptly. So it's an improv-y sort of day. So this is going to be exciting and fun. My name is Emerson Gregori. I'm going to be your host today. With me today is Nanciann. Nanciann, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
okay, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate being on. My name is Ann Horvath. I'm a nurse, I'm an actor, and I'm a speaker. And why I started Improv for Health was because in medicine, did you know that if you could think fast on your feet and have improv every day, you'll stay younger? Because your health starts up here and it goes all the way down through all your organs. And as an actor, we have to do improv and we have to learn the lines, but then we also have to improv. And I've done improv in New York and in LA. And I like to bring improv into the real world with health. So that's me. And there's a lot other components of me, but you'll find out. Stay tuned.
And also with us is Christin.
Hey guys. So I am so excited to be here. I love comedy almost more than anything in the world. I like to make people laugh. I love playing different characters. And if we get to the real base and root of everything, it's always improv. It's most actors who do comedy, they started at improv at some point. I work in TV, film, theater. I have a one-woman show on Mother Teresa that I've toured Australia and the US with. I had a two-woman show for a while. And yeah, I've been on different things and here I am.
Thank you, Nanciann, and thank you, Christin. And once again, I'm Emerson. I do sketch comedy, I write, and I do improv at UCB, mostly long form. I also do short form. I just like to be silly. I don't think we should take life that seriously. We should just screw around a lot more. That's my philosophy. So we're going to start with some questions, and then later on, we're going to do a little bit of improv. That's our plan for today. So we have a few questions. I'm going to pull out one, and then we're going to go around a forum style and discuss them. Our first question is, how did you get started doing improv? And Christin, I'm going to ask you to answer first.
I love this question so much because, like most church girls, I started off doing improv when I was a kid in church, literally. So basically we had, I'm ethnically Portuguese. I don't know if a lot of people know that because I've got a Polish last name, which I am also Polish, but I'm ethnically Portuguese. And I grew up in a very Portuguese area. And there was, so our church, my mom was a youth minister. And she also ran the confirmation, and we would always have these sketches. We'd either do sketches in youth group, we'd do them mostly as icebreakers for these retreats. And there was another parish who we were very, very good friends with, who taught us how to do these sketches. And they were very kind of based in the Portuguese humor, a lot about like mom, dad, and kind of the scenarios of what it's like being in a Portuguese family, and all these like crazy characters like vovó. Vovó means grandma in Portuguese. And believe it or not, they have taken off, and they now have a group called the Portuguese Kids, and they tour the world. Okay, but they're the ones who first taught me how to do improv.
That's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Christin. And Nanciann, how did you
Wow,
get
I
started?
love that.
doing improv?
Yeah, I'm from the East Coast also. I grew up in Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York. I lived in Manhattan, and I was always a talker. I didn't know that that word is improv, so I would just go up to people and start talking, and then I would make up games with them. And I did improv as an actor, but also as a nurse. I would bring it into the medical world. Like, don't get, like what you said, we have to enjoy our moments. So my saying in life is enjoy your moments, because really that's all we have, folks. And I said it before COVID, and now everybody goes, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So why I think improv is so important is because sometimes in life, you going down this road and you have to learn how to turn on the dime. And I've done improv with medical people, and now I do speaking events, and I get my audience involved, and I spoke at a couple colleges, and improv teaches you to always be ready. So you're going to learn some tricky things today.
That's great, Nanciann. Yeah, I actually, to answer the question myself, I've been acting for years. I started in my junior year of high school, and the crux of all acting is improvisation. A lot of people think that memorizing lines, you just say the lines and you act them. But in fact, acting is improving and finding areas of life within that performance. And so when I started acting, I was doing improv without even realizing it. And so a lot of actors, they say they're not good at improv, but if they can act, they can improvise. And then I went to, so I started going to UCB, which is it's an improv school. There's a number of improv schools here in Los Angeles. I'm from Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles. And what you do when you go there is you learn how to do improv. And so through sketch comedy and through like these stage improv UCB shows, that's where I do improv. And that's how I fell in love with it. So our next question is, what's your favorite improv game? And Nanciann, I'm going to throw it to you first.
My very, very favorite is yes and, because in life, this is what I say. If we say no but, then I show my butt. No, not really show it, but no but will shut doors. Yes and will magically open doors. So there's a game of a yes and we will show you that later, but you could bring somebody around the back door, the side door by using yes and. Like Emerson, I know you didn't eat all your food today, so I'll say yes and you could have dessert after you finish your healthy food. And I said to my kids, yes, and we'll go to the park after you do your homework. You're selling a house. Yes, and I heard you didn't like this house. I bet you the next one I show you will be just up your alley. So people need to use yes, and every day, but it's a muscle. We have to use that muscle often. That's my favorite.
Well done, Nanciann. And Kristen, how about you? What's your favorite improv game?
Hitchhiker. I love Hitchhiker. So basically, for those of you who don't know, with Hitchhiker, you normally have someone who's, you set up 4 chairs or 3 chairs like a car, okay? And then you have someone in the front who's the driver, and then you have someone who's the passenger, and then you have an open back seat. And the person who is the hitchhiker comes up with some kind of a quirk, whatever it might be, but they don't tell anyone else what the quirk is. And then as they're coming, the improv starts, they pick up the hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker is doing whatever the quirk is. And once the passenger and the driver figures it out, they start taking on the quirk, and you stop the game when everyone's figured it out and they're all doing the quirk, and then you rotate. So it's a fun game.
I love that game. I actually forgot about it until just now. Party Quirks is my favorite, and it's pretty much the same, except for instead of you all sitting in a car, the audience normally tells them what they have, so the audience knows. And then it's the host welcomes the guests one at a time, and it's the host's responsibility to figure out what each person is, and then they verbalize, yeah, stop eating all my nachos, bear, and they just figure out what that person's quirk is. And then once that person is called out and they're identified, then that person goes and hides. But Hitchhiker, actually, what I like about that game is that you take on that quirk, which is pretty fun too. So maybe I'll switch my answer. I'm not sure.
I like that game.
Our third question for today is, why do you like improv compared to other acting/comedy methods? And I will answer that question first. As I mentioned before, I do sketch comedy. I write. I've done all kinds of comedy. I haven't done stand-up, but I like to try it. But the thing about improv that's exciting, specifically group improv, which is what I prefer, is that you can organically build something with another person. Like what I like about theater is that theater is very collaborative, and creating, I do a lot of, like I said, writing and stuff like that. And I do a lot of creative things. And in those creative things, for the most part, your artistic endeavor is largely a solo act. It's sort of isolated, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just a certain medium. It's a certain type of artistic experience. And the virtue of improv, along with theater and other mediums of expression, is that it's corporate. And the thing that improv does so immediately that other things don't is that improv happens right now. And so when I'm writing with my writing partner, that collaborative effort, it happens gradually, it happens over time, it happens through dialogue, and then the product is made, a month, a week, it takes a while to churn that out. But when I'm doing improv, that product is made, that product is alive, and it's dangerous. And that's what's so exciting about improv, is that anything can happen. You can say something completely silly, you can say something completely nuts, you can say something completely sweet. And it's just such an exciting thing, because so much of our lives are on this sort of track. But when you're on improv, you have the danger of, you risk life. And that's what I love most about it. Nanciann,
I love
question.
What you said, because it was similar. Yeah, I love what you said. It was similar to how I feel. We have to be really present for improv. I mean, you have to be present for acting, but you almost know where the beats are coming and the lines. The other thing that improv teaches us and everyone is to listen. Listen to, you cannot think what you're going to say next, because you don't know what that other person is going to say. So again, bringing it into real life, if we listen closely when we're doing improv, it'll help us in real life to listen closely. And the skill of listening is kind of out the window sometimes. That's not good.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Listening is dying. But thank you, Nanciann.
Don't cry, Kristen.
I know. I'm very concerned about that.
But we could bring it back. We could bring it back.
Improv.
Yeah, improv it back in.
Kristen, same question. I'm going to read it for you. Why do you like improv compared to other acting/comedy methods?
Freedom. I love freedom. I like not having to memorize lines. I like being able to just feel my character, live my character, breathe my character, and just let it go.
Well said. Yeah, freedom is the best. Freedom and listening and so many wonderful things. I watched a sketch the other day. It was Kristen Shaw, and she's just she didn't even say anything really. She's just kind of like making noises and moving around, and it was just so improv-y. And I just loved it so much, because if there was lines that she had to be doing, then it wouldn't have been as hilarious and open, But yeah. And I have one more question. I actually. Well, actually, we have a few more. What are the different kinds of improv? And Kristen, if you wouldn't mind answering that question, what are the different kinds of improv?
I feel like this is a test. Like, I feel like, should I take the textbook out? Like, seriously. Well, before we got on, we talked about the fact that there's long form and there's short form improv. Short form is more like little scenes or playing like games, little concise. Long form is like, I'm doing a whole show and on these characters, and we're building this story, and you're watching the whole thing, and hey, it's improv.
Follow-up question. Do you prefer short form or long form?
By the way, I've done both. The long form is scary because I could probably go for forever. I have a comedy partner, and we used to do it, and literally we could go for a whole half hour. We get on Instagram Live and we would just start, and half the time we wouldn't even notice, that's a scary thing. A captive audience for how long? It's more like prisoner audience.
So long form, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I like
Really?
both. I like all of it. Yeah.
I won't force you to choose.
Okay, good, because I like all of it. I'm taking it all. Yes, and.
Nanciann, if you have anything to add, and what is your favorite form of improv?
I love what Kristen said because I like the short form, the long form. I like the physical one, but my favorite is the short form. Get to the meat and bones right away. And again, you could listen, and yeah, you could always expand it and go longer, but I do like the short form. And a lot of people who even aren't even into improv will see that and they go, oh, this is fun. This is easy. I could do this. Yes, you can. Short.
Thank you, Nanciann. So I didn't know that long form existed. I, like many people, experienced improv through Whose Line. And Whose Line it's all short form. Everything is very structured and you have very specific rules. The interesting thing about long form is you come in and, like Kristen said, you have nothing planned and you get a suggestion and then instantly you're like, all right, I'm a dad and you're my son. And I just say, hello, son. And you just have to establish that. And the interesting thing about long form is that you're creating character, location, and activity. And ideally, when you're good at long form, you can create those three things in the first line. Like, oh, son, I'm so proud we're going on this fishing trip finally together. And so then, you're fishing, where you are as a pond, supposedly. I guess I didn't really establish that. And your relationship is father and son. And so it's a lot more challenging because you're starting from nothing, but also, like Kristen said, it could potentially go on and on and on and on. And so that's my favorite. But that is the last of our questions. And I know that we're only 14 minutes in.
I'm
so
impressed.
Should we stop or should we just end the show or should we do
No,
something else?
we
I don't know. What should we do?
I'm ready for fun. That's what I'm here for the party. I don't know about you.
I'm here for the party. I'm here for the party. I have a fun improv game that I do like in groups where I call interview, and I can say, where. At one time, somebody said this young girl was an underwater basket weaver, and she took it to the hilt. And I was speaking at Cal State Fullerton, and she said how they threw her in the water when she was 3 and she made little baskets. And now she goes traveling all over the world and she makes intricate baskets and people know her as the underwater basket weaver. I mean, she just took it. She said she never did improv before. So I love when somebody gives somebody a job, a career that's very, very bizarre.
Let's play that game.
Should we do it? Should we start?
Yes. And
yeah. Yes, and.
Okay, so who's our volunteer? Who's our first victim?
It's you.
Me? Okay.
It's you, Emerson.
Alrighty, what is my job?
Kristen, can you think of Kristen, think of something very unique that people really don't do. And I'm going to interview Emerson because he is a pro at this very, very unique talent, career. So what does Emerson do?
I always wanted to know how the people who draw the lines on the road know what they're doing, because I'm very concerned about that, because that's a safety hazard. So I'd like to know a lot about that.
Okay, so I will open it up and I will say, good afternoon, Los Angeles. We have this wonderful guest today with us, Emerson Gregori, and he travels all over the world drawing those lines on the highway. I understand he's been to different countries, so we're going to hear about this today. Emerson, I would like to, first of all, thank you, because I know your schedule is very, very busy. Where did you just fly into today?
Oh, I came from Paris today. The interesting thing about what I do is that the lines that are drawn from country to country are very, very distinct. And so there are distinct brushes, there's distinct types of paints. It's actually illegal in certain countries to use certain types of leaded paints. And so it's a very complicated job. And it's my pleasure to be called all across the world. I don't actually do it for the travel, I do it for the painting. Yeah.
Wow. Now, did your family do this? Is this how you got into it? Is this something that was in your heritage, your great-grandfather? Because I was reading about you a little in the newspaper.
No, actually, It was my family, but initially I didn't want to follow in my father's footsteps. And like when I was a child, I loved to draw. And my dad is he's a very practical person. Like he would do it. He uses a machine to do what he does. And he actually just does it in our hometown of Los Angeles, you know. And so when I was very resistant when I was younger about following into the family business, but then my brother did it. And then as I got older, I tried to be an accountant, and that just didn't work out for numerous personal reasons. That and then like I realized that my love of painting, my love of drawing, had kind of had an avenue for expression, and so I got into road line drawing, which is what we call it, road line painting, and I made an art form of it, and which is one of the reasons why I'm called to different parts of the world, is because the way I do it, despite the fact they look similar to the untrained eye, an artist or a very, very, you know, intellectual person can tell the difference. And when they're riding on that road, when they're driving, that it's a blissful experience of driving down the road.
Wow. Now I know there's a lot of rules, but somebody told me sometimes you make a little mark and kind of add your own. Is that true? Like you have to follow the rules, but have you put your initials? Have you done a cartoon? Tell us one or two unique things that you did that, you know, we won't tell anybody today, even though people are watching.
There are rules, and I'm not supposed to bend them, but there are creative rules. When you've been in this industry for long enough, you know how to put your thumbprint on things. And I'm glad to say that my thumbprint is very noticeable within the industry. I just have a little whip that I do at the end of corner roads, and that's my mark. That's my distinct mark. There's actually a guy named Sergio that I work with, and he has his own little, you know, twist that he does at the end, and we have a good relationship. It's a little bit of a rivalry, but yeah, we can notice each other's marks, and sometimes when one of his old roads get too old and it needs to be repainted, I will come up and I'll do my little whip and right over his swirl, and it really gets his goat.
Now, you said you just came from Paris. What's your schedule like over the next couple of weeks? I'm curious, where are you traveling next?
Oh, I'm gonna go to Thailand. That's my next place. Those roads are a little bit more shallow, and so like the lines are much more narrow. But it's a nice experience. Also, I have to worry about it's a much more tropical landscape, so I have to worry about the moisture of the air getting into the road. So it's about mixing the paint for that one. I'm also going to go to different parts of Asia, different parts of Eastern Asia. I don't know the exact track because I have my agent taking care of that. But I'm sort of going on tour, and the interesting thing is I don't always fly. I sometimes drive, and when I'm driving, you know, I have a driver, and sometimes I will lean out the window and I will paint the road as we're doing this, and I consider that to be my charity. That's the pro bono stuff that I do. Yeah, and so like, you know, and I get a lot of letters of thanks and stuff, a lot of stuff from kids thanking me for making their just city beautiful.
What was the most unique spot you went? Like, where was the most unique spot? Like, you never could have believed you were going to do that.
Actually, in Paris, there's this massive traffic circle around the Arc de Triomphe. And I painted the entire thing, and it's just a chaotic street. And so structuring that entire thing in a beautiful way, because you know the Parisians, they beauty is a higher priority than most areas, and so finding a way to weave through the cars. I like to do it while traffic is still going. I consider it an extra challenge. Yeah, I mean, some of the guys, Sergio that I mentioned earlier, he likes to block things off. He uses the yellow cones. I don't do that. I'm just in there. I'm in the nitty-gritty. I'm painting. I'm dodging traffic. I don't recommend it. Do not do this unless you're a professional, and I am a professional. And so
I'm going to keep you in my
really
prayers and thoughts, because
please do. Please do. Yeah. And so
I'm
really
amazed
proud
at
of that
what
work
you
that I
do. So I'm going to wrap this up and say thank you so much for joining our show today, because I could see your schedule's very, very busy. But you had mentioned earlier one little thing, you get thank you notes. What was one little note or gift that you got that just touches your heart?
I believe he was a 4-year-old boy. His name is Marcus. He sent me a letter, and there's actually little dry drops on the page and little smear marks. So I knew he was crying as he wrote this letter. And it just said, thank you so much for making my roads beautiful. And yeah, and so I keep the letter. I have it right here actually in my bureau. So yeah, that was it. And sometimes
Emerson.
when I'm on hard days, I pull it out.
Yes. Oh, you just touched my heart. Thank you so much for joining us today on our show, and good luck and stay safe. I admire you. Thank you very much. We're going to wrap it up. Okay.
Sergio.
That was fun.
Sergio. Sergio. I was like, I don't want to laugh, but I really want to laugh.
I think Kristen knows
yourself.
Sergio.
I do.
Mute yourself. You can laugh. Alrighty. So, do we want to play this game again with a different?
Shut up.
Okay, Kristen. I guess
Yep.
you're volunteering yourself.
Yes, I am. Like, I want to play. No.
Okay, I can play interviewer this time, and that means Nanciann, you have
Okay.
to come up with the role.
I have to come up with the unique. Okay, so Kristen invents snowshoes in New York City because of all the different types of weather. Sometimes they have to be very thick, sometimes small, but because she's lived on the East Coast, she is a pro at all the different types of snowshoes. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have a very, very special guest. We have Kristen Jezek on the show tonight, and she is here to talk about her snowshoes. It is just a pleasure. I've been trying to get her on this show for about 10 years, and we finally have her. So Kristen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. This is just such an honor.
Oh my gosh, I am just so excited right now. Like, you don't even know the fact that you're even admiring my snowshoes. Like, it just, oh my, so excited.
I match your intensity. You cannot see them because our face is on camera right now, but I'm wearing your shoes, and they're so comfortable. And I was just wondering, how do you manufacture that match between comfort and practicality?
Well, I have to tell you, we have a lot of people trying on shoes all the time. Okay, like 24/7. Like, I walk around in at least 5 pairs in one day, at least 5 pairs, because I need to know. I need to know what the American person is going to appreciate on their feet. And like, I like fur. I don't know about you, but I like fur. It adds an extra, some warmth and some coziness. Like I'm wearing slippers. Like, I'm going through my life in slippers. So that's why I like the fur. Do you like the fur? Are you wearing the fur line? Because those are my favorite.
I love the fur. If I could take the interior of all the clothes that I have and fill it with fur, I would do that.
Like
I absolutely
pillows.
adore it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious, what inspired this twist on a shoe? Many of us have ideas about shoes, and most of us just sit there and just feel frustrated, but you took it and you made $1 million industry all on your own. And I'm just curious, what lit that fire under you?
Well, growing up in New York, I mean, there is a lot of seasons in New York. There's hot season when it's like the air just gets stuck in there, which, by the way, we have convertible shoes. Have you seen the convertible shoes for the hot seasons with the humidity? Oh, yes, your feet are not going to sweat in those. We thought of everything. So, anyways, yeah. So, I just got sick. I got sick of when it rained and walking in puddles. And then, that feeling when your socks get wet and then you have to go to work and then you spend the whole entire day with wet socks. Isn't that like the worst thing in the world?
It is.
Yeah. So I just decided that it was time to stand up for all of the wet socks in the world, because you know what? You got to save those socks. One sock at a time. We're doing it.
I'm moved. I'm sorry. That's beautiful. Um, I heard recently, this is the rumor mill, and so you can either confirm or deny it, but I heard you're working on a shoe that can make the wearer fly. Is there any comments you can make on that shoe?
Yes. So, I just love movies. I'm a movie aficionado. That's what you call it, right? An aficionado, nado, whatever that word is. I'm one of those. And, I love Back to the Future. And when Marty McFly gets on that thing, that hover thing, I was like, we can do that. We can make those shoes. Possibilities are endless. Living the dream. Why don't we fly? That's what I said.
Oh my goodness, this is an exclusive. I cannot believe we're finding out about that. It's not even a rumor. So this is brilliant. Can you tell us any information about the prototype? Like, is it working well? Have you figured out the technology?
Well, I can't say very much, but I've seen the top of the Chrysler building. That's all I'm saying. I've seen it.
This is amazing. This is just so brilliant. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to top this. I guess what I could ask you is there any other shoe ideas besides this flying shoe that you are willing to share with us today?
One of my favorite things on the East Coast, when I visited Boston, they have these things that are like the duck tours. Have you ever heard of the duck tours before? Yeah, so they're basically, for those who don't know, they're these little trucks that can go on water and you take a tour or drive on land. So I am working on making a convertible shoe.
And that's different than your convertible shoe.
Correct.
It's your convertible shoe.
Correct, because it will be convertible, but it will also fly.
Oh my. And if you don't mind my asking, how do you make these shoes do what they do? Fly, go underwater without getting wet, convert themselves into transform, I guess. How do you do this?
It is a lot of love, a lot of hours, a lot of long time just dreaming and thinking about shoes. I mean, just every day I just wake up and I just start the day. And first, you know what? Sometimes I just put out colors. I just put them out. I just put the colors out, and I look and I'm like, ooh, pink. No, not pink. How about fuchsia? That's what I do.
Oh my goodness, Kristen, you inspire me. You literally inspire me. I get out of bed so that I can interact with people like you. It's just such bliss. Also, I guess shifting gears, you're also a fashionista. You're known for your outfits, your red carpet looks. You're known for wearing appliances. So just out of curiosity, what inspired your 1995 toilet seat dress that you wore to the Kids' Choice Awards?
Well, first of all, big shout out to Lady Gaga. Hey, girl. Okay, so her and I are like the biggest besties in the world. We kind of have this thing where we like to kind of like top each other. So we get very excited. Like we have these conversations very long on the phone sometimes about like, what are you going to wear? I don't know. What are you going to wear? And then, she tells me and then I tell her and then I show up in something different.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So that is almost all the time we have. But I know that you care a lot about your fans. You have a very close relationship with them. I know that you do signings. You actually you go and you put your hands in cement, just unprovoked, without planning it. If you see wet cement, you put your hands in there to immortalize yourself, and your fans love it. Is there any event or anything that you're planning for your fans where they can come and meet you anytime soon?
I am so excited that you brought that up, Emerson, because our New York store on 5th and Madison is going to be having a signing. I'll be signing shoes. Get excited.
I am. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Kristen. This has been the greatest pleasure of my young life. I don't know what will possibly top this. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Next week, we have a guest that will be terrible compared to this. So maybe don't ever come back again. Thank you.
Bye.
That was so much fun. Thank you.
All right, so to round it out, we have one more interview. So Nanciann, you will be the guest. Christin will be the host, and I have to come up with the category. Okay, brain.
Ooh.
Let's see. How about you are a you work for Elon Musk as a rocket designer, but you do interior decorating
In the rockets. Oh, yes.
in the rockets for billionaire rich people.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, everyone. You're here on the Kristen Jezek show. I'm very excited to welcome the most distinguished guest. I mean, she has won so many awards. She even got the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, I just can't. I cannot. So I like to welcome, without further ado, Ann Horvath. There she is. Yes. Yes,
Thank
Nanciann.
you. Thank you so much, Kristen, for having me. I'm so glad we could just carve out this time because, you know, our schedules are crazy these days.
Oh,
Thank you.
I can imagine. I mean, Elon Musk, how did that happen? How did that transpire? How did you end up working with
I've
him?
known Elon a long time. I mean, our families are pretty tight. And when he always liked the way I dressed and I wore different materials. And he said, would you design and, you know, kind of colorful the inside of my rockets? I said, of course, Elon. I mean, your rockets are kind of boring inside. Come on. So I knew there was a need for it. And I brought him a lot of my, you know, materials. And sometimes I go to Czechoslovakia for my materials because I'm Hungarian and Slovak. And he really likes when I go over to those countries and I bring him different materials. And that's sort of how it happened. He said, you're right. He said, the inside of the rocket should not be bland and boring. I was like, thank you, God, that Elon's finally opened his eyes, because sometimes that guy could get pretty set in his ways. Some of us know that. So when I showed him the materials, mostly from Eastern Europe, you know, he just was like, okay, there's a need for this. And the fun thing was, once I put the materials together, he didn't care. Like, they didn't really have to have a pattern. I could just use little snippets here and little snippets there. And he was just like, slap it on, girl. So it was really a lot of fun. And also it brought in more business for him, because people were like, finally, we don't have to sit in a boring rocket. And he did say it was because of me. And, you know, so he's taken me on many trips. And sometimes I'll just say, pop me over to Europe for a week because I need some alone time. And then I hit the shops, you know, for the materials. But it's so much fun. I mean, I'm just loving it.
That's incredible. I mean, the fact that you're a world traveler, I have so many questions right now. I think I'm going to ask you, about textures first, because I really want to hear about your travel, because it sounds like you have seen things that no one else has seen. Actually, no, let's go to that first. What can you tell us about your travels? Tell us something that we've never seen. Blow our mind.
Okay, Istanbul. It was amazing. I knew it was going to be different, but I'm going to tie it in with your other. Istanbul has the most unique textures. So it's like every time you find a material, you're like, I got to touch it. And then I would put it near my face because, you know, sometimes touching it doesn't just, you get a different feeling when you put it on your face. So they don't mind. I mean, I go over there now and they call me the face girl and I rub it on my face, and sometimes this cheek, and you really get it. So I'm telling you all out there, next time you're shopping for something, whether it's carpeting or clothing, rub it on your face because it gives you a different texture. And now I got Elon. I said, come on, Elon, this is what you want. He goes, yeah, it looks fine. I go, no, we got to do the face test. And he kind of got into it because it's a different texture. As you know, as a woman, come on, Kristen, when you're wearing a dress, you don't just put it on. You rub it here, rub it there. Texture is so important. And Istanbul, they have the textures, ladies. If you want to go somewhere, go there. But you need like 2 to 3 weeks. You can't just pop in and pop out because their textures are so detailed and the areas are so enthralling. I mean, I went for a month. It wasn't even enough time. I want to go back there. Yes.
Oh
so that's my favorite place.
That is just, I mean, first of all, it's just so cute thinking about you and Elon just rubbing your faces with cloth. I mean, that is just so adorable. I never thought that he was that cute.
He doesn't want anybody to know that. I can't believe he said that on TV.
Don't tell anyone, audience. Don't tell anyone.
It's our secret.
I know. Speaking of which, does Elon have a favorite texture?
He does. Since I've said so much about him, I'm not going to say too much, but it's he likes it a little rough. That's all I'll say today.
Oh, wow. Would not have guessed that.
I know. And I'm not going to go into detail because I am his personal designer. So, but I do want to encourage people out there to rub the texture on your face because it's different than in your hands. Our hands touch so much every day. And now with this cuckoo thing, like, oh, I got to clean my hands with, Purell. But honestly, the face just says it all. So I want to encourage you to do that next time you're shopping.
Yeah. So walk me through start to finish. Okay. Elon shows you the rocket and says, here's a blank canvas. What do you do?
Well, I knew we had to do something because I said, Elon, you're putting people in these rockets and they just can't look at blank walls. So when I first proposed it, he thought I was a little nuts, but then I got some different materials and I put them side by
I'm
side.
stuck or you're stuck.
I'm talking and I can hear me. Can you hear me? I can hear me. Who's stuck? Who's stuck here? I can hear me. Can you hear me? Emerson, roll. You can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, thank goodness.
On.
We had some technical difficulties, everyone.
Sorry, I'm the producer. I'll leave.
Had some technical difficulties.
No, it had nothing to do with you, Emerson. It was technical difficulty. I think I was thinking about rockets and, sometimes when you're in space, we have good connection and bad connection, but it's really important to have different textures and different variety. One of my sayings in life, and I got Elon to actually enjoy this saying, is variety is the spice of life. And whether it's with your rockets, your people in your little circle, I don't have a little circle, I have a big circle. So, your jobs, your textures, but really people, variety is the spice of life. So keep that spice in your life.
I love that. I mean, that is just so inspirational. I need to write that on my mirror and just
yes.
The
I say it every day. Variety is the spice of life. And I like a lot of spices. I've been to Grenada and that's the spice island. So I got the spices.
Oh, incredible. So I don't know if you heard my last question because I know we got stuck. Did you hear it okay? Or would you like me to give it to you?
Why don't you repeat it? Because we were stuck in space. How that
I know. I know. Okay, so my question is, okay, Elon comes to you and he says, here's my new rocket, a blank canvas. Walk me through start to finish. What do you do?
Yes, I bring him textures, different textures. And what I showed him was that a blank canvas is bland. And then as we build on it, we could have this texture or that texture. And Elon likes a lot of colors. So the brighter, the better. And all of a sudden he saw the advantage and he said, I'm so glad I hired you. And that's sort of how it built with our relationship. And then he just kept sending me around the world. Because remember, people, blank and bland, it's not too good. We gotta, spice it up.
I love that so much. I also heard that you're very experimental with metals. Could you tell us a little about that?
I am. Well, when I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. My dad had a hardware store, and he would bring home like the old stuff. So I would sit there and hammer and just kind of make shapes with different metals. Because, you know, in Pennsylvania, we throw nothing out. Everything has 5 to 10 different uses. I think it's like that in Boston also. Everything has many different uses. So that's how I decided that the metals and also the textures from the material could also be used on, you know, Elon Musk, you know, up in space. And he did like that. He said that's a real good way. So again, everything's recyclable. Everything has 5 to 10 uses. You know, my parents would even clean the car with old underwear. Go figure. So I won't throw anything out these days. Yes.
So smart. I'm telling you, this is why you're the innovator. This is why you're with Elon. I mean, come on, just bow to the greatness. Bow to the greatness. So, you know, I'd love to know if you could just leave us with some inspirational words, you know, for us little people who are trying to make it to where you are, you know, if you could give us one pearl of wisdom, you know, like Oprah would say.
Okay. I'm going to say, every time you're going to throw something out, look at it and think, how many uses does this have? And you probably won't throw it out, and that's okay. Some people call us hoarders, but some people call us reusers. And also, if you're not going to reuse it, share it with a friend. Like, get together and say, here, Emerson, I have something for you and you have something for me. Because remember, one man's junk is another man's treasures. So that's what I want to leave you with.
Wow. I'm so inspired. She's even an environmentalist, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, she's just saving the world one tree at a time. It's just, wow. Wow. I mean, you know,
Elon is waiting for me. My jet is going to take me. We're going to New Zealand. So I really have to bow out. And I'm so sorry, but you guys are awesome. And I just love this show, but I'm off to New Zealand. What can I say?
Thank you so much for your time, Nanciann. Let's give her a round of applause. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I'm actually leaving.
No, I know you are.
Girl, Nanciann, face girl. You will forever be face girl to me. That's so funny.
Use your face. Use your face.
I just love the image of her and Elon rubbing fabric up against their face.
I imagine.
I have a comedy show tonight, and I may just do all improv with the audience. I may just encourage the face.
Nanciann, do you want to plug your show before you go?
Yes, tonight I'm live in Your Belinda, and it's a comedy show. It starts at 6 p.m. And my comedy is usually medical related. I tell important facts, like when you're dehydrated, you need electrolytes, not electric lights. That's what you get at Disneyland. So I give very good things, you know, and if you can't chew, you should be on a puree diet, not a pure egg diet, because those are bad for your cholesterol. And so that's my show. And tonight I may just talk about face. I have no idea. And I have my comedy all lined up. But because I'm also a nurse, I encourage people and I put in some medical stuff. So that's it. Thank you, guys. I enjoyed this so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Can we catch your show online, or is it only in person?
This one's in person. I've done comedy online, but this one's live and in person because I'm not afraid of people.
All right, Nanciann, break a leg. It was great to meet you. All right, and then there were two.
I know.
So it's funny because like the improv we just did would work pretty well with a 2-person group.
Yes.
So maybe we should have saved it for now. Too late.
I know. It's all good. It's all good. Do you want to do one more improv game, or do you want to call it a day?
I mean, if you have a good idea, then yeah. But my brain is blank. I can't think of anything, you know, good.
That was so much fun. That was so much fun.
That was really fun.
Actually, let's just pick a place, pick 2 characters, and just go. How's that sound?
Okay. Do you want to analyze what? Oh shoot, my headphones are dead.
I can hear you fine though. Okay. Can you hear me or not? Oh, now I can't hear you.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I was just hoping that they would come back to life while you guys were doing your scene, and apparently this charger is dead, so it didn't work.
That just
all right.
gave me an inspiration, actually, because for a hot minute, I couldn't hear you. And it made me think of that game where you know how somebody's like speaking and the other person does the dialogue for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Yeah.
do that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
We might have some syncing challenges, but let's just do it.
Okay. I'm going to mute myself and you can be my voice and you can come up with whatever story you want and I will act it out.
All right, great. Hey, it's just so great to see everyone today on my YouTube channel. I just love everyone so much. You know, today I really wanted to discuss meditation and reaching the apex of your psychological thought through the use of finger touching. You see, I have 5 fingers on each hand, including the thumb, and these are very important aspects of my life and your life, I imagine. I know that some people out there, you know, I'm progressive. Some people out there, they don't have as many fingers and they can use their toes, but God bless them all, you know. Each of us has our own things, our own number of stuff. And so I'm going to lead you in a very, very special meditative practice using fingers and thumbs and touching. This is not sign language, so if I accidentally say something inappropriate by moving my hands around, I apologize. I got in a lot of trouble one time at a bar for saying something to someone within the deaf community, and that lawsuit is still going on, but we'll talk about that later, or not at all. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is take your hands and hold them like so, and we're going to press our fingers together in this very specific pattern. Do me a favor, match this. Yes. And we're going to make sounds. Hong, hing, whom, hop, har, hu, la, lung, lock, li. And this might feel like language. It's not anything. This is just sort of something I made up. You might be thinking, oh, what school of meditation does this come from? It doesn't come from anything. I just sort of made this up one day, and while playing around with my 3-year-old niece, I accidentally reached nirvana. And so I just thought it would be nice to show you all. I know that a lot of you out there are trying to reach nirvana these days. It's 2021, and it's a good time to reach eternal bliss. And so we're going to lead you in that one more time. This might seem a little different. The sounds might seem different, the touching might seem different, but it's the same basic idea. So here we go. Whoo, whoo, ah, ah, wah, and there you have it. Thank you once again for joining me. Please like and subscribe. If you want to send me money, there's no avenue to send me money digitally. Please put your cash in an envelope and slip it under my door. I'll leave my address in the comments on this video so you can show up at my house. If you want to come inside, please don't. Once again, I'm under house arrest and I'm not allowed to talk or see people because of things I've done in my past. But anyways, thank you so much, lovelies. God bless, and keep meditating. That was really weird. That was really interesting.
It was fun though. I like what you did with the fingers. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because normally I take inspiration from my environment, but since the computer is such an innocuous environment, it's really hard to but that was really fun and really interesting, especially because I know the syncing issues are affecting it. Like, it's affecting it.
No!
Yeah, because I mean, it's fine. It's just part of the medium, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really interesting. Okay, so now it's my turn
Your turn. Okay. All right. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. You got your sound off? Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So I am so excited because I have a whole new line of brassieres. They are the best, and they are so uniquely fitted to the woman's bosom. You know, because no two bosoms are alike. I mean, come on. They make these. Does a man make these? I mean, what was he thinking when he made the brassiere? He wasn't talking to a woman. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, you know, we experiment with a lot of elastics where I work perfecting these brassieres. I've tried them all on myself. And they are, look at how comfortable that is. Look at the lift. Look at the lift, the ladies. Everyone wants the lift. You want the lift? Everyone wants the lift. Come on. So, also, you know, in my spare time, because I realized, you know, why should the men feel left out? This is a brassiere. Why? This is 2021, people. It's 2021, okay? And men should be included too. So with the brassiere, I've also made the man's ear. Check it out. Check it out. So your man won't feel left out now. Isn't this so great? Yes, yes. Oh, look at how it goes on. So I'll just demonstrate over one shoulder. Yep, there's one. Okay, look at how hot that is. Isn't that hot? Isn't it so hot? I know. It's just like, oh my gosh. It's so hot. So, okay, let's do the other shoulder. Let's show the other shoulder now. Yep. Okay, there it goes. There. Yep. There it goes. And see how snug. Look at how snug that is. Snug, like snug in a rug. It's just, I feel so like warm and just safe when I have my brassiere on. It is just incredible. So ladies, if you need to get one, which I know you do, and if you need one for your gentleman, the man's ear, we have a 2-for-1 special. Oh, we're gonna put it on. Yep. Okay. See, look at it. Oh, you can slingshot. You can slingshot it wherever you need it to go. It's incredible. Just put it on, just slips on just like that. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. It's, oh my gosh. You need one. It's just, the lift, ladies, you just can't get enough. Oh, it's so fabulous. I'm telling you, just the best. My goodness. Okay. So, you know, if you need one, you just come to www. How many W's is that? Oh my gosh. You know what I was just thinking? W's kind of look like boobs. Because it's like, you know, it's the W. There's like two like things, and it kind of looks like, isn't that funny? I love that. Yeah. So anyways, www.brassiermenow.com. That's right. You just go there and you just click, pay. Click, pay. That's all you need to do. And your bosoms will be thanking you and me. Okay. Get one now. Bye.
I hope my mom sees that.
That was too much fun.
Yeah, that was so funny. That was so silly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny, like before improv, there's always like this tension. There's like this, like, oh my gosh, this is it, you know, and you have to like sort of let go at a certain point, you know. And what's interesting is some days you feel yourself not letting go and you just get so frustrated, you know, and you're like, why am I not letting go? Why am I not listening? You know, and the computer makes it a bigger challenge, but I really feel like we were very successful today in just letting go and just, yeah, and just having a moment of fun. There's so few just pure fun things left in the world. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the whole world needs a good laugh and fun right now.
Yeah. So, Kristen, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a great fun, and I hope those of you who are watching, I hope you really enjoyed it. This is a weekly show. This is Betsy Freeman booking. Sorry, Betsy Freeman booking. It's a weekly show. We do a show every week. Kristen and I aren't always on there, but it's a rotating guest, rotating host. And if you enjoyed this, I'm sure you enjoy next week's show as well. So come back. We love having you. And if you have any suggestions in the comments or anything, just let us know, and we love it. So everyone, just have a lovely Sunday. God bless and take care.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.